I'm with Gregg Orley. Gregg Orley, in addition to being a past president of Congregation Shaare Tzedek, was a witness to the events that happened. What are the things that, if you just listen to your heart, that you recall, remember, carry with you from that particular day?
Thank you for the invitation to reflect on that day, Arthur. It was Lincoln's birthday, and Rabbi Adler was a devoted reader of Lincoln history, and he organized his sermon remarks to reflect on Lincoln's life. I was 12 years old, and yet I recall listening with such desire and interest. What is it about Lincoln, Rabbi? What do you have to tell us? And of course, Lincoln's legacy, his maturity. I've later thought to myself, Lincoln, as we all recall, wore that tall black hat. Well, so too that morning did Rabbi Adler wear his tall black hat. Moments later, a young member of our synagogue entered the room, the very room that we 50 years now continue to come and pray in. And of course, his disturbed mind took Rabbi Adler from us, and horridly, the individual took his own life. This was 50 years ago. The commonality of hearing these stories today is something that we hardly turn our attention to. 50 years ago, it was as foreign to our eyes and ears as one could imagine. And so what I reflect on is just the innocence of that moment. No one had considered or imagined such tragedy, certainly in front of our eyes. And yet, what is so interesting to me is that we came back and continued to come back to this home, to our prayers, to the same recitals that we echoed that morning, the practice of life moving forward, though we all weep for the loss of this brilliant man. He was 60 years old, I believe, and had so much more to give. We learned that our faith guided us successfully and brought us to the next week and the weeks that followed, and then 50 years passed. I must acknowledge, as you would, and anyone, whether they were here or not, where does 50 years go? And that's a story unto itself. But from that moment, I can certainly say, from February 12th, 1966, through this past week, this place, Shaare Tzedek, has just filled my life with purpose and meaning. And I only hope that Rabbi Adler would look at me and our entire congregation and be proud of the people that we have strived to become.